All right, back for more of the Argonaut Weekly. Rob Walden along with Lauren Fagler, senior guard on the women's basketball team. Women's basketball split a pair of games this weekend at the UWF Holiday Classic. Open up on December 30th with a 65-55 win over Tuskegee. Then on New Year's Eve dropped 75-54 decision to GSC West opponent Harding. So women's basketball, like the men, now at 7 wins and 6 losses on the season. Lauren, let's first talk about the January 30th victory over Tuskegee. Very close game at the half. Defensively, you guys really stepped it up a notch in the second half and carried the team to what was a pretty easy victory in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Coach kind of onto us as well. She was happy with us, but she wasn't at the same time. I mean, we weren't really getting up and pressuring the ball the way she did, but we did that in the second half, and that ultimately led to a lot of steals and deflections, and at the end of the second half when we capitalized on those, that's what kind of helped us pull away from them at the end.
The Harding game a day later, not quite the same story. You guys had a 1-point halftime lead, really gave up 44 points in the second half. Harding turned it on a bit. You guys weren't quite able to match their level of intensity. What was the big difference between the victory over Tuskegee in the second half and then what Harding did in the second half on New Year's Eve?
It was definitely our defense. Coach was not happy with our defensive effort in the second half, and they pretty much tore us apart. We weren't there, and they took advantage of us. So we didn't come out and play the same way we did in the first half against Harding as we did in the second half.
So now 7-6 on the season, and it seems like there's been a lot of trading a win, trading a loss. What is it that you guys? What are the steps that you guys are going to have to take? And I know Coach works with you every day in practice. What are the steps you guys are going to have to take to get a little more consistent and string a couple of victories in a row together and stay over that 500?
Well, we just had a team meeting, and we're actually changing a lot of things that we do in practice. As many as the little things that if Coach doesn't think we're working hard, she pulls us out because she feels like if we practice the way that we're going to play, then we'll end up playing better. So she's going to be on top of us with turnovers and box outs because those are two things that really have affected us in the past couple of games that we've lost.
And depth has been a strength of this team so far. You guys can go 11, 12 deep even with some injuries. So I got to think if Coach isn't quite happy with what she's seeing, there's a lot of good options to go to on the bench.
Oh yeah, she loves rotating people in. I mean, you saw in the Harding game, she wasn't happy with the 5 that are in there. She took all 5 of them out. That's the great thing about our bench is that she can utilize them whenever she needs to.
You guys will have the midweek portion of the schedule off, then January 8th head to Mobile. They're an NAIA opponent. I know there's not a whole lot at stake, but how important is it for you guys to go out and put out a good effort for 40 minutes?
We need this for momentum going into conference. We need this win to kind of help with our record and get our team back on a positive side to get ready for our conference schedule. So it's a good game for us to win.
Conference kicks off on January 13th against Alabama Huntsville. Basketball is a little bit different than some other sports. You don't have those conference games sprinkled in. You guys have to play for almost 2 full months before you finally get to the conference portion of the schedule. How excited are you and really the rest of the club to finally play a conference game on January 13th?
Personally, I'm excited because conference is what brings out the best of everyone's team, and I think that our team is going to do really well, especially with the way Coach has changed what she's doing in practice. So I'm excited, and I know our team is excited because this is more competition than what we've been working for the past 4 or 5 months now.
So a big stretch coming up for women's basketball. They'll take on Mobile January 8th. That's on the road. January 13th is when it really gets kicked off. Conference schedule against Alabama Huntsville. That one tips off at 5 p.m. And, of course, you can watch it live right here at GoArgos.com.